Hello and welcome to part 3. I'm not sure if you can hear my neighbor's kid, but he just let out a big old wail. So, where am I? Okay, so I've done all of the film caps, and as you can see from my little pile over here, I even found a couple of bad or a couple out of tolerance. They were not leaky, but ceramic resistors, ceramic caps. They were grid screen caps that don't carry a lot of voltage, so I'm not sure. They were probably out of tolerance to begin with, I would think. Because as most of you know, like these caps over here, some of these paper caps were just fine, and they were the ones that went on grids and things that carried negative voltage or just a couple of volts. And anyway, I replaced them in spite of the fact that they probably would have been fine as bypass capacitors. One of the things I did was I pulled out this transformer because there's been a lot of talk on the radio side about more and more people discovering that these types of IF cans have the kind of open mica at the bottom, where they just sandwich the mica in between the folded over pieces of metal. So they get, a lot of radio folks have been coming across silver mica disease. So I pulled this one out to take a look at it, and it doesn't show any visible signs of it. I don't know if that's necessarily a good indicator, but the fact that these coils have spider silk wiring, and they're a little bit rickety, and they have the little rivet in the middle. I did not want to mess with it, although I know in my box of spare Philco parts I have a couple of these 4.5 megahertz coils, but as with a lot of these from that era, none of the, where's my other schematic? This is T6, for example. So right here in the list, it does show that there is a capacitor, and it does not show the capacitance. And although I just, if I don't have to deal with it, I won't. If it was a radio, it would be one thing, but going through a TV alignment, even though yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out just so you guys can see it, because I haven't taken a look at it yet. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I've got it here. Oh, maybe I forgot one. Maybe that's it. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if that's it. Oh, yep, that was it. Okay, so I did mark one side here, so I know where it goes. And this one is a little bit different. No, that's not. Yeah, this one is a little bit different. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm off camera. There's little tabs in there that. Let's see if I can move the lights in the way. Anyway, give me just a second and I'll have this out. This one is not as easy as the other one was. Now I'm wishing I took the other one out for you. Or showed you the other one. Although I guess I would have still taken this one out. So, let's see if I can... It seems to be working. I'm using my duckbill pliers to squeeze that, so... Yep, here it goes. And if I've ruined this, I'm going to cry off camera, I guess, since you can't see my face. Okay. Well, this one's actually completely different than the last one I pulled out. So, the other one was, if any of you have seen these on other videos, it was like a my fingers are in the way. It was like a plastic, two-piece plastic ladder, I'm going to say ladder, like the kind you climb up on, with a metal spring clip that held the two pieces together, which suspended the core. And then the two different wires came down, and then it had the plastic sheet like you may have seen in the Shango videos. This one is, like I said, different. I'm going to assume that there are wafers sandwiched underneath this base, but for now, I'm going to put this back together. Oh geez, you know, I know this has to go this way because oh boy. This is what I get for not paying attention. Now we know if this TV does not work, let's see, these two here. It's gotta be. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be back. There's a third leg on here, so there really is only one way it can go in. Let me pause this for just a second. Alright, well, got that back in, so let me just run this real quick and then I will show you where I'll be starting in a minute. So, it's going to be timed. Ew. I'm not sure why I'm doing that. I had accidentally sucked the solder off of one of the resistors. So, I got my resistors in today. I did have to do an order because, as usual, there were some odd values I didn't have. although I should say I used to have, but they were a lot of the same odd values that I had to use for the Town and Country. Since the Town and Country does have a similar circuit to the Predictas, so. And if anybody's watching that gets anal about people who don't clean up solder, I'd just like to point out that I do clean up my flux. Alrighty, so I'll touch that up because I know you don't want to watch me solder, so anyway. Alright, so I used pretty much all this, most of the caps I've been using are these little chiclet caps that are, I think they're Panasonic. The other ones seems to be everybody's been using because they have, when you look at their data sheets, they do specifically mention that they can withstand short DC pulses, and they're good for TVs. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the resistors here, and maybe I'll just upload this short video. And although the way I've been talking so slow, it's not so short. But anyway, the caps are done, and I'm starting in on the resistors. I haven't gotten to the couplets yet, obviously. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.